Just Too Good here. Let's take a look at all the minifigures of LEGO Minifigures Series 24, which releases January 1st, 2023. This has a total of 12 minifigures retailing for $5 per pack. The first minifigure I want to look at might be the most popular of this series, at least in the LEGO community, because it is kind of a nostalgia piece. This is our first brown classic Spaceman. We haven't gotten this classic space helmet, technically the remake that was introduced with the LEGO Movie 2 sets, ever in that brown coloring, and also the printing of the classic space logo on just a plain brown torso is new. This design is freaking awesome and faithful to the original design with no new face print, just the classic smiley face. I love that. At the back, there's no back torso printing, and you do get the air tanks in brown as well, which is fantastic. This remote right here is actually a baby monitor, which uses a 1x2 exclusive tile print. And you can see how it just attaches to those two studs right there. And of course, there's a baby space person. I love this. The design here uses a completely new piece for the baby's head, which is attached to the helmet and the air tanks. It's one whole piece, so unfortunately you can't use that on like Lego Jack. And then this torso right here has that classic space logo print, which is just the existing baby standing up, one anti-stud torso piece. Put together, this figure is adorable, and it's cool how you get two figures with just this one pack. And that's it for the brown classic Spaceman and the Spacebaby. And next we have this Koala Rescue guy who definitely harkens to the legendary Steve Irwin. I kind of love what's going on here, not only with a fantastic new piece for Koala, which is a first, but also with the design being so unique for the minifigure. With another figure in this series, they have a completely boring minifigure, but an accessory. And this is kind of like a trend that is in a lot of the other recent series. So I'm glad this has a very interesting accessory and a very interesting minifigure. You see, this piece right here is the hair hat combo from the LEGO Stranger Things set used with Dusted in completely new colors. I don't like that it has the little rescue thing at the top there, but I guess you could remove that with nail polish remover because it would just be more versatile without that logo there. Same goes with the torso here, which has the logo at the back. But as a whole, it's a unique idea for a minifigure, so I do like that it does have the rescue tag to it to an extent. I just don't like it for the versatility of those pieces. This design also has some really nice dual molded arms there with the green and the black, and dual molded legs, which has those nice cargo shorts at the front and some brown boots. Other than that, I believe this face print is an existing face print that's been used in a couple recent LEGO City sets. And you'll see with this series, there's quite a few reused existing face prints. Regardless, for this Koala, I quite like how you could have a minifigure holding this top of the carrot piece and still have the Koala hanging onto the same piece. This is adorable, and you can just see how that connects to any pole connection with how it grafts onto the side right there. This does have one anti-stud as well, so you can put it side by side with the Koala trainer if you want to display it this way. But that's it for the Koala trainer and the adorable Koala. I keep saying Koala trainer, but it's technically more of a Koala Rescuer. This is one of my favorites of the series because this harkens back to the fantasy era Trolls, which even uses the same logo as the shield and that middle part right there, giving me some nostalgia. This is the Orc. I love this new piece for this jaw included, which is kind of rubbery, surprisingly enough. And the only downside to that is you can see there's a slight discoloration with the rubber piece and then the printing on the torso and the face there. But you got to squint and you'll miss it. Like, it's not a big deal in terms of discoloration as like, say, the Mercy minifigure way back. This design has some fantastic printing even at the side of the arms, which you can see there. A really nice cape design, which I love all the rug and tug right there. Just all the tatteredness with the design of that cape. And you can see another alternate design for this arm right here, which has the logo once again. Again, using this shield piece, which is pretty nice, but the design also uses a scimitar, which is straight from those orc sets, or sorry, troll sets. And if you're curious how this looks with that jaw piece removed, there's still a fantastic face print underneath. And you can get a better look at how this jaw piece works, where it connects at the neck. And also this uses that existing design of this hair piece right here, attached to a stud with a hole in the middle. That's it for the Orc. Well, actually, wait, I don't think I showed the back of the torso too, which you could get a look right there. So that's it for the Orc. A very nice castle edition in this wave. While recent robots have been kind of lame from LEGO Minifigure Series, this is one of my favorites in a while. I absolutely love this design, which almost harkens to some Buzz Lightyear colors with the lime green, the white, and the purples used. This design provides a really ridiculous helmet piece that's new and exclusive to this figure. Look at the molding here. The sculpting on this is crazy, where they even leave a triangular open at the back, which, what? Is that like a little kill spot? Like if you want to defeat him, you got to hit him at the back of the head right here or something like that. I don't know. I love it. And seeing how that head print connects with the mask, it lines up really well, but also serves as just a fantastic head print to use on its own on that lime green head. And again, there's just printing all around here. This isn't a rubber, by the way, but you got some printing at the back of the torso, fantastic side arm and leg printing at the front with boot-like designs right there. Oh my gosh. And then you have an exclusive 1x1 print with his blaster right here. I kind of love how this uses the roller skate pieces as well as the Overwatch gun in the middle right there. It's a very clever build. It looks very unique without having to make any new pieces, just some new colors and prints. And here's the Rococo Aristocrat, a character that, I don't know, when I look at it, I think of The Favorite, the movie, even though the color scheme of her dress doesn't really match with the color scheme of that movie. This design uses that ridiculous bottom piece right here, introduced with the Queen from Series 15, which I love seeing used, but they never ever use it. That's just freaking fantastic. And then you have this Chihuahua right here, which the design of the Chihuahua is finally in a new color, where we usually get it in that tan coloring from the Trendsetter. Not that it's appeared in too many sets after CMF Series 10, but it's really nice to get it in this white color right here. And of course, you can just put that side by side with the minifigure if you don't want that to be held with its one anti-stud. And then the design of the Rococo Aristocrat does have this really interesting new piece for this powdered wig. This is super ridiculous, and I love the design and sculpting here. You have an alternate face where she looks really happy, and then you have that front face where she just looks kind of happy. Overall, a really ridiculous and fun minifigure. Accuracy usually holds back my liking of costume characters, so I kind of love how this T-Rex looks just like a Lego T-Rex. The T-Rex costume here is fantastic with a new specific mask right here. This design has some great printing overall, all the way to the bottom feet right there, the side arms with those stripes, as well as the back tail right here, which is a new piece from my understanding as well, which has some printing there. Each copy of this comes with 2 copies of the tail, which is freaking fantastic. And also, I guess they could get damaged by just how bendy they are with their rubber design. You got to look at that back torso print as well. As for the face print, I don't believe this is a new face print. Or no. I think it might be a new face print. I'm not entirely sure, but it's kind of hard to tell because they don't have the part numbers here, and there's been so many generic face prints recently. And back in the day, LEGO would never reprint face prints for CMF series, but now with the update in quality, they have been reprinting face prints, so it's tricky, but the face print does definitely work for this roar face right here with this scream. I kind of love how that looks with the mask on. This is a really fun figure, so I do kind of wish they maybe threw in an accessory. And yes, with that tail, you can have it either way and it still looks right. I love how that is a bit versatile in that regard. And I really love the Potter of this series, a very clever and unique design for a minifigure that I haven't seen in CMS before. I love how they include a freaking Potter's wheel right here, which you do get an extra one of the bowl with the figure, so technically this is an extra piece that she's holding right here. I love the coloring too, which looks like she's working with clay, which just brings me back to my childhood. You guys really want Just to Pot to be a thing, so you know what? That's probably going to be a YouTube channel once I get back into pottery. This design, I don't think uses a new face print, because I think I've seen that face print before, but again, face prints in this series are kind of tricky. I absolutely love this new rag piece at the top, which, oh my gosh, this is just such a great piece that's so usable for so many minifigures, and I can't wait to see that in different colors. This design also has just a great jumpsuit right there. I love the purple there, and also the legs right there has a nice color scheme with the aqua. At the back, you have some more, which that torso, dang, you could use that for many minifigures. I like that. And then at the back, you have a more relieved face right here. As for this carrot guy, this is kind of cool, but I am a little bit annoyed how the carrot doesn't use the regular top of the carrot piece that LEGO has used forever. this piece right here. Instead, we see 3 of these leaves right here, which just throws me off a little bit, if I had to be honest. I know, people will say that's a nitpick, but I'm just telling you my opinion. The design of this does promote a farmer's market, which is a lot of fun. Though this does kind of remind me of the pea and pod person from the grocery store where they were promoting the grocery store, and that was just last summer. I really like the print of this signpost piece right here, which says farmer's market. You can see how that just attaches to a pole right there. The design of this does have a new piece for that carrot because we haven't seen that carrot before. This uses a hard plastic base, but then kind of a rubbery top. Removing that, you could see his alternate face, and this jumpsuit right here has a really nice green coloring to it. This design, I think, for the face print might be new and exclusive, but I'm not entirely sure. I also love the legs, which are dual molded, where you have dark green at the top, black at the bottom. And keep in mind, this also includes an extra hairpiece. And this hairpiece, which I always love, introduced with the first Black Panther movie sets, comes in orange in one other set, which is the hospital from earlier in this year, 2022. So it's really nice to get this in a cheap CMF figure. And this next minifigure is my least favorite of the series. It's Rocking Horse Girl. This feels like a minifigure from maybe the last 2 generic series where they'll include a really interesting piece right here, but then a pretty darn boring minifigure. This face print is very overused for children minifigures in LEGO City. This hair piece has been used multiple times in CMF series before, even with the Series 18 Party Girl, Gabby Gabby with 2019 Toy Story 4, and many other sets since. The only new part right here would be the torso, which I do really like the unicorn design right there, which is kind of adorable. You got some back torso printing as well. Now, the main draw of this beyond the figure is this rocking horse right here. This is a really nice new piece, and I love how this molding came out. Sorry, sculpting, I should say. I'm just so used to saying molding for new pieces. And the design of this has some nice printing at the front. And of course, you could put a minifigure in the middle right there. And this actually has a little bit of a play feature where you can make it rock. It's all thanks to the clever inclusion of a 1x2 jumper right here with this minifigure. And basically, if you push down in the middle right here when it's on the jumper, it pretty much fixes in place to make it rock back and forth. And with the position of the 1x2, you can actually get it to stay in these positions right here without it falling out of place, which is actually really nice. Just got to be careful lining it up. Also thanks to this part at the side just kind of resting on that 1x2. So I really like the inclusion of the jumper here. It's not a completely horrible minifigure. I really like the torso, and I really like that rocking horse. And this is the referee, which is a first for the CMF series. We did have a whole football/soccer series with Team DFB, but we had a coach in that series, not a referee. The design here has a highlighter yellow used throughout, which I like seeing popping up. I guess it's printed right on the bottom right there. And then we have that base for the torso. This design also has fantastic side arm printing. Like you could just use that in so many scenarios outside of referee where you could say it's a clock or sorry, a watch or whatever. And then at the side right here, another extremely useful side arm printing. You could just put that for minifigures working out and such. This design also has some great side leg printing right here. Sorry, a little bit of dust on the minifigure, but you can see just that printing all the way at the bottom to the feet there. Very, very nice. And then you have a yellow card and a red card for refereeing, and that's my extent of sports knowledge. Also, you have the inclusion of this soccer ball right here, which I always like seeing popped up because I know they don't do too many soccer/football minifigure sets. So when they throw it into a CMF series, even if this whole CMF series has it like DFB, I always take it for granted. But these easily roll around, so you always got to keep them in place. This design also uses this hairpiece right here, which I used to get mixed up with the Ghostbusters Abby hair from 2016, but it's the Padme hair from 2013 Republic Gunship. In this color, first time. We never got it in this medium nougat color before, so that's really cool and exclusive to this minifigure. And you can see she has an alternate face right here, which both of these face prints, from my understanding, are new and exclusive to the minifigure. So yeah, actually one of the better minifigures of this series. And then we have this newspaper kid, which is honestly one of my favorites of this series as well. I love the idea behind this, where this is a fresh idea that I've seen requested many times before on Eurobricks. The design here has a hilarious and exclusive yelling face print right there. He's saying, extra, extra, read all about it. The design even has extra printed in a big font right there on that 2x2 tile exclusive to this figure. Nice reference to the Series 18 classic policeman. The design of this also has a really nice torso print, which is covered a little bit by that satchel, so we'll get to that in just a bit. I really love this side arm printing too, which is so usable, of just some wrinkles in this white shirt. The design also has some printing on this arm as well. You have the mid legs being used, which is always fun to see pop up, this time with some printing right there of that patch. And also the slingshot appearing once again with this dark brown base and dark tan string right there. At the back, you have some more torso printing, which you can see the design at the back right here with that satchel removed. And a better look at the front torso, which I keep saying could be used in like a Godfather movie or one of Scorsese's gangster movies for like half of the people who aren't stars in it. I love it. I love it. And then we also have a new hat piece right here, which is a fantastic sculpt. I absolutely love how this came out. So yes, one of the best minifigures of this series, if you ask me. And finally, we have the Falconer. This design uses the Black Falcon logo on the torso there and the color scheme, which is interesting. We've been getting so much Black Falcon stuff from LEGO recently. The new castle uses it, the blacksmith shop, that castle from Creator, and then I think a Bricklink castle. Though those are all expensive sets, so it's nice to get this torso print in a cheaper set, and it is slightly different from the torso print used in that sets with the chain at the top especially. This design also has a new leg printing, which looks freaking fantastic. Dual molded legs with the boots showing through there, and those look fan-freaking-tastic. No side arm printing, though. We do have this bow and arrow right here, specifically a long bow, which in that tan coloring is a first for this minifigure, so that's really nice. It seems like they're making a maple longbow right here. RuneScape people will get it. And then the design of this falcon right here, I believe, is a totally new piece. At first, I thought they were just reusing the seagull piece with that very rubbery design, but no, this is a hard plastic first and foremost, which I really appreciate. And the design of this has some really, really nice printing at the front right there. This design also uses a princess braid hair piece in a new color, which is this red coloring for that piece. Really love how that came out, and that looks fantastic in red. There's also this cloth, which I think is a new cloth design for this minifigure. Look at how that actually is shaped at the top right there. It's pretty extravagant. The design at the back with this hair piece removed and lifting up the cloth reveals some more printing with another cape at the back right there. And you can also see how she has an alternate face, which looks pretty happy. From my understanding, this is a relatively new face print, but one that has been used in other sets because it looks familiar to me, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Either way, that's it for the Falconer and her falcon at the side right here. Yes, it stood up. And if we're just talking about packaging, I absolutely love the design of the packaging in the series because we actually get a new color for the blind bags. That's something that they never really do. I love how that came out. And for the actual accessory sheet, you can see how they show some instructions for some minifigures, even the Win minifigure right there. And you have your checklist of all the minifigures in the series. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a display box for this review. So if I had to go favorite to least favorite, this would be my ranking from left to right. My favorite is still the brown Spaceman, I think, which has that lovely baby space person right there. I love the Conservationist, which I saw was the official name, even though I kept saying Koala Rescuer, which may not be the most original idea because I think we've gotten some from Marine Life before, but the take on a Steve Irwin type character feels like a very nice tribute with some fantastic recolors and prints included with that specific minifigure. And you have the amazing koala piece. The Potter is a fantastic original idea that brings nostalgia to me and also has a great new piece and some great recolors of pieces. The robot is an idea they've done a billion times before, and somehow this one is one of the best. I love the blaster in this. I love the new piece. I love the color scheme they use. I love the print of the head underneath. The Newsy is a long requested one that came out perfect. This orc right here is a great addition to the Trolls of Fantasy Castle, and if you like World of Warcraft, it does harken to some of the designs in that game. The Rococo Aristocrat is absolutely ridiculous. I love her dress. I love that powdered wig. I love the Chihuahua. The design for the T-Rex, I will say I liked more than when I got the figure, because I do feel it is missing an accessory. Even if they just threw in a bone or something, this would feel like a little bit better of a value, but they're like, okay, T-Rexes sell, we could just include a T-Rex costume. Regardless, I love the extra inclusion of the tail, which the tail might be my favorite part of this figure in particular, but the new piece for that Dino mask came out fan-frickin-tastic. And then for the referee, a fresh idea that is executed pretty darn well. I love the highlighter yellow, and if you don't get too many footballs in LEGO, there we have with that football included. And then there's a Falconer, a minifigure I was a bit hard on before I got the minifigure herself, because the design of this is a fantastic interpretation of a different type of Black Falcon warrior, just with the slight torso changes there, so it's not too similar to what they released. Love the hairpiece they use. The hairpiece might be my favorite part, and I absolutely love the Falcon piece, which is finally a hard plastic and not like those rubbery seagulls from Series 10. The farmer's market carrot person may harken a bit too much to that grocery store peas and pod person from earlier in the summer. Regardless, I still like that print on the signpost, and I like how they include that hair piece, which is quite rare. I also kind of wish the carrot itself just had 2 leaves, but whatever. And then at the very end, Rocking Horse Girl does feel like the laziest minifigure of this series, where you'll just buy it for the accessory, but dang, that Rocking Horse accessory is very clever in its sculpting as well as how it works with the 1x2 jumper. Man, I think I might give this series a 9 out of 10. This is one of the best generic series ever, which I really do appreciate a new generic series being this good. It's not like some of the recent ones were god-awful. Like, I think Series 22 was pretty decent, but this is leagues better than even that series. Let me know, am I being too easy on this series in the comments below? Tell me which one's your favorite minifigures and which points you agree and disagree with. Subscribe for more LEGO reviews, which I don't do too often, but really, LEGO news is what you should expect in LEGO lists, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.